Hello, hello. Isn't the unknown grand? Isn't it delicious? To feel it, to be it, to live it. It's full of awe, it's full of wonder, it's full of plot twists, and it's something we can fully trust and surrender into, even when we feel fear and doubt and especially discomfort. But don't take my word for it. Take your own experience. This moment, I feel a rapture for the surrender of it all, for the knowability of the unknown, which we will never know with the mind. Unknown almost suggests it's an unending journey, and that I can't say on one level. I would boldly state the healing journey ends. Now, the unknown is infinite. So in that way, it's the opposite of time is not eternity. It's eternity is. There is no opposite, and time is a concept. And thus we are lived through and loved through the unknown again and again and again. And there's no concept to wiggle out a beginning or a stop point. I am celebrating in this moment a little conversation that came through, short and sweet. It goes something like this. We'll use little hand puppets. How are you feeling today? Reactive. How long have you been feeling this way? Since I became aware of my own existence. How deep does the suffering go? The pain never ends. Whose pain is it? Mine. We've identified the problem. So that's my little sock puppet skit I did for my son the other morning. He started laughing and I said, it is funny. Mine is always funny. My is always funny. It's a joke. Let's all laugh. It strikes me that I would have never looked in the eye. I would have never looked in the eye. When I say I could even say the I would have never looked in the eye, because when I say I, funny enough, I'm not actually referring to what someone might call a me. I never looks in the eye for its own deconstruction. Some teachers put it, the last place you'll ever look, which I think is really fun and a beautiful way to describe it. The I, the story of you, insert your name here, doesn't wake up. It's not some sort of regal, spiritual, enlightened being. There's not some version of Jasmine that's the highest version Jasmine could be, and then Jasmine gets to experience awakening. It's more that truth wakes up out of a sense of Jasmine. Awakening wakes up to itself. The story of Jasmine doesn't go with it, if you will. And so that's why I say I would have never looked in the eye. I, Jasmine, the story of you, would have never thought to, or never will, never will, that's strong, often won't think to look back at itself to even question that construct of being an I in a sea of eyes. And that's why it's the last place you'll ever look, because it's hiding in plain sight at the most unquestionable level. We think it's the bottom. Well, that's the bottom. Well, how could I look any deeper than the bottom? That's just the story of me. Of course that's true. No, it's not. And once you penetrate that, the whole bottom falls out. And thus, the eternal love letter of the unknown that always was, always is. And it's more like that sense of I caps it, cuts it off, fogs it. Question the unquestionable. Question it. And the beautiful thing is, if you don't have a pure desire to question it, like, this is hogwash. Of course there's an I, and of course if this I likes spiritual things and it's a spiritualized I, then it will get to wake up, and then like the I will win its like spiritual awards. Don't worry, if you don't want to question it, it will question you. Or in my experience, the grace will hit you. You will fall flat on your face. It will be the most delicious fall. It will be, it lives you. There was nothing I could have sought. I didn't know it was there for the seeking. My bottom, my story of I happened to be so thick and stubborn, I didn't even know, shoots, I couldn't have even imagined that was something to question. Does it matter how many meditation talks I listened to and practiced? It doesn't matter how many Buddhist themed books I checked out at the library. It doesn't even matter if I read about it point by point. It's just that was so fundamental to sense of existence. So for this stubborn I, it was only grace that had to smash through that. And it was the most welcome, beautiful smashing that I never could have asked for. So back to my funny little puppet skit. There's a suffering that feels like it will never end, but the I convinces us, the separate self, the story of who you think you are, what you think you are, convinces you. Keep going. It's never here. Self-improvement project, it's just around the bend. Happiness is always just around the bend. Who you really are, who you're becoming. Who you're going to become something. No, you're not. But it's always telling us, keep looking. It's never turning back on itself and saying, wait, you never found it. You're still not finding it. What about giving up the search? What about there is no self-improvement project? There is no separate self to build a castle out of, to earn love for, to decorate internally and externally. That's the suffering. It's the linchpin in the whole game, that there's not a game to win for the separate self. A Course in Miracles would say, everyone will reach their point of how much suffering they can bear. And it's not about if, it's about when. It's inevitable. And when we take away the Course in Miracles philosophy, we can look at that with common sense. What you are can only be itself. And so if what you are can only be itself, it can only play and pretend at being anything else up to a certain point until that collapses, right? So it's another way to look at that same thing. The suffering's always been there. As soon as you took yourself to be something that you are not. It doesn't mean that as soon as you have that experience of not being a you, of being an everything, it doesn't mean you'll never have discomfort again, a miserable moment again. It doesn't mean you'll never sort of like say something time-based to your children and then think, oh no, am I fear implanting them a time? It's not real. You'll still say and do things that aren't humming with truth, because self-realization has deeper stages. There's more to this mystery. There's more undoing to do. You don't have to worry about the time it takes or the steps to go. Trust that as that process takes over, it's truth rushing out to meet you. It's truth directing the show. There's no doer. There's only this moment and what's right here being held out. So much to say and nothing else that needs to be said. Many blessings. Aloha.